And welcome back to the Blue and Gold Report on KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine. Joining us today is senior Kristina Smith from the women's tennis team. Kristina, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
We last spoke to Maravik Mamet a month ago, and a lot has happened in women's tennis since then. You guys have won 15 in a row, ranked 30th in the country this week. I think last week you were 28th, but you dropped a couple spots and you won, which is crazy. But you've been as high as 23. You guys are on fire. What's been the key this season?
Yeah, it's been really exciting. I think there's like a lot of different factors that go into our success. We have a new assistant coach this year, Diane, and she's really brought out the best in us and brought a new energy into the program. And just everybody has just been working so hard. Our practices have been going really well, and I think that's helped a lot.
Let's look back for a moment at early March. UC Irvine takes down rival Long Beach State. That's a close 4-3 match, and I think that's probably foreshadowing of the Big West Conference tournament, which is coming up in a few weeks. But how tough was Long Beach State that last time in compared to the past few years that you've played them? And, recap that match for us.
I mean, Long Beach is always tough. They're our rivals. They have a lot of really good players. They're always really deep. So we knew going into it was going to be just like a fight. And we really wanted it this year because we were playing at home. And so we knew, okay, we're at home. We've got to take it. And so we won the doubles point. And then it was tied 3-3. And it came down to my match. And I was just going into the third set. And so I knew at that point that it was 3-3. So it was coming down to my match, and I just fought really hard for that last set, and it just was the best feeling to come through and win.
That's always interested me because, especially at Anteater Stadium, you're playing on different courts. You have your odds and evens on different sides. How is that communicated to you? Does Coach Edlis come by and say, okay, it's coming down to you? Is that something you want to know as the number one player, or is that something you prefer not to know? You just want to play your game and not worry about what the score is?
In that situation, nobody told me because usually if the match is already clinched, then if you go into a third set, then you play a tiebreak.
Okay.
And so Coach Aaron was on my court, and so I asked him, okay, are we playing a tiebreak or are we playing it out? And he's like, no, you're playing it out. So at that point...
So you knew.
I knew.
It was down to you.
And, yeah. Okay. So I kind of liked knowing, just,
Does that change your energy at all in any way? I mean, you're number one, you're ranked, no doubt you're a talent. Does that change for you, though, at all, knowing that, okay, it's down to me? I know it's down to me. We're not playing a tiebreak. I really got to go get this match.
I think it helped me, actually.
Okay.
I don't really mind those situations. I think it makes me play better.
So you're a good player under pressure.
I think so. I hope so. Yeah. So it was, and then just like winning it for the team, it was just like the greatest feeling ever.
Looking forward, UC Irvine's on the road. You have a couple weeks left before the Big West Conference tournament. You play UC Riverside. What is the key to UC Riverside, to beating UC Riverside?
I think we just have to go in and play a really solid match. We just can't take any match for granted at this point, and just show why, we're like the great team that we are.
You're the 100th ranked player in the nation. You're 18-5 this year in singles. What did you work on in the fall?
The fall, we worked on a lot of things. I worked with Diane a lot individually, and we just worked on opening the court a lot, trying to finish points at the net, and I think that's really helped me this year.
What kind of player are you? You talked about playing at the net. Are you that steady baseline player? Do you like the baseline game a little bit more, and that's why you had to work on the net game this year?
Yeah, I would say that I'm pretty solid from the baseline, but I've been working on trying to open up the court and I guess putting more pace on my shots so that when I do get the short ball, I can come in and finish off the point that way.
We talked to Nikisa, who came in, and she talked about your game a little bit. Now, you are very good at hitting those severe angles. Was that something you always worked on, even as a youngster, or is that something that developed recently?
Yeah, I've kind of always had that in my game, but Diane just really helped me to put it all together, I guess, in a match, and it's helped me a lot.
Now, if you think of opponents in the Big West, is there someone, whether they're number one or number two, that can hit the same angles that you can? Can you think of anyone?
Not off the top of my head, but usually all the number ones are, pretty good. So, it doesn't matter who you play.
Now, you're not the prototypical size for a women's tennis player. We've been seeing in the pro circuit, Venus and Serena, they're tall, they're big, they're strong. You're smaller and you're quick. What have you done, or what do you need in your arsenal to kind of offset the lack of height?
Yeah, I've never let my size be a reason why I couldn't be good, but I just really try to absorb the pace that I get, because I don't hit the hardest, but when somebody is putting pace back at me, I try to absorb it and redirect the ball really well. And of course, being quick and just getting the extra ball back is also a big part of my game too.
How important is it for you to set the pace right away, as opposed to determining how the opponent is playing and then going from there and strategizing?
Yeah, that's something I've actually worked on a lot this year, because usually I kind of try to figure it out the first couple of games, what's she doing, how's this match gonna go, but I've really tried those first couple of games to just really set the tone and go after my shots and hit out, and so that's something I've worked on.
You play number one doubles with Francisca Gotching, and we all call her Mookie, so we're going to call her Mookie from now on. You guys are ranked 66th in the nation, and you're 5-0 in Big West games. What makes you and Mookie such a tough doubles team?
Well, Mookie and I played all together last year, so we're super comfortable with each other. We're really used to each other's styles and how we play, and at this point it's just kind of based on instinct, I guess. We kind of know where each other is going to be on the court. Mookie has an awesome backhand, so she sets me up at the net a lot when I'm up there, and we just fight it out. We just get the extra ball back, we make our opponents play, and I think that's what's made us so successful.
Now, when I spoke to Maravik, I learned a little bit more about doubles tennis, but who's the poacher? You or Mookie, or do you both poach?
I think we both poach, definitely. Yeah, we're both good at the net.
How do you guys communicate that? How do you, a lot of it you said is instinctual because you've played so long together, but beginning when you started playing together last year, how did you guys communicate what you wanted to do at certain times in the game?
Well, even now we have a plan for every point usually. If one of us is serving, we'll tell the other where we're serving, and if we want them to poach or stay. And then a lot of it is also even if we don't have a planned poach, but I hit a good shot and set Mookie up at the net, then she knows that she's going to take it.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So a lot of good communication, verbal and nonverbal, going on between you two.
Yeah.
I was told about an interesting quote that you said
to
Coach Edlis, and it was after a match that you won, and I don't know who you beat, so we won't worry about that, but you said, I gave her enough rope to hang herself. Can you talk about what you meant by that? We don't have to talk about who you were playing, but...
Okay. I don't even remember who I was playing. But someone told me that a long time ago. I don't even remember who told me that, but it always just stuck in my head because, you have to give the girl enough reasons to, doubt what she's doing out there. And once you get to that point, it makes things so much easier for you.
Now, what as a tennis player can you do to kind of set that girl up, to put her in that situation?
Well, for me, I think getting a lot of balls back, making the girl play the extra ball, because that sometimes can be frustrating for them. And then just not giving up on any game, not giving an inch. I think it's all about the mental toughness out there.
You also mentioned, we talked off air, you worked with air volleys and you added more power to your game. Is that just strength and conditioning, or is that you're just a senior, you're physically more mature? What was going on there?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of both. We worked really hard in the weight room with our trainer. I think that's paid off. And then just the hours on the court, just really fine-tuning everything, and doing all the extra little stuff that makes a difference.
Now, I have worked out with the tennis team a couple times with Bobby and Coach Nagler, so props to those guys. I know you guys now are working on just maintaining. You don't want to do anything too heavy rep-wise. Are you at this point feeling the same as you did last year in terms of being physically tired or, being worn out? Are you guys at that point, or are you guys just still going strong?
I think we're still going strong. I mean, our fitness has been really great this year, especially Diane has added a lot to that too. She's given us a lot of good workouts, especially during the fall, running us a lot. But, I mean, we're really excited and really pumped for the end of the season, so I think we're ready.
And, I would like to talk a little bit more about Diane. She played at USC.
Mm-hmm.
What have you learned from her?
Oh, I've learned so much from Diane. She's an awesome coach, and I'm, really happy that she's in our program this year. I've worked with her a lot individually, and I've just, learned a lot, technically, with my game. She's really, helped me bring out, the best in my game. And then
now, is that more mental? Is that the mental approach to the game, or is you mentioned that she helped you with the severe angles and things like that?
Yeah.
But mentally, how much growth did you need mentally? You're a senior. You've been a standout all 4 years. What areas did she help you with in the mental part of the game?
Well, something that Diane always tells us is never let go of the rope. And just never give up, even when you're in those tough matches and it's hard and you don't know how you're gonna pull it out, but you stay in there and somehow things turn around. And so that's something that she's always told us and that I've taken away from her.
You feel the whole team's adopted that mentality as well, and I mean, obviously it's showing on the court.
Yeah, definitely.
Looking forward, you have 2 weeks remaining, and then the Big West tournament. Now we were talking with Alex, your sports information contact. If the seedings were shaken out today, UC Irvine would be the number 1. Most likely you'd play UC Riverside as the number 8, Long Beach number 2. How tough is this tournament going to be? I mean, you guys are close to running the table, and we're going to knock on wood. I'm not jinxing you,
Yeah.
but close to running the table in the regular season. But how tough is this tournament once you move to the Indian Wells?
I mean, it's tough. It's tough conditions out there because it's in the desert. It's hot. So that's definitely going to be something that we're going to have to face. And then playing 3 matches in a row.
Mm-hmm.
That's always tough. So we're just trying to stay healthy out there. And, yeah, I'm really excited for it. It's always a super fun tournament. But there's a lot of fans that come out to it, too. So it's really exciting.
Any advice that you want to give to the younger tennis players like the Facey twins and what advice would you give them?
Oh, that's a good question. I would
Stay
just
hydrated.
Say, stay hydrated out there. Just enjoy it. It's such a fun tournament, and it's a beautiful place to play tennis at. And we're just so lucky, that we're on this college team and we get to do what we love. So let's just enjoy it.
Now, have you, as a team, whether it's with your coaches or without your coaches, have you talked about the NCAA tournament and potentially earning a berth? And
yeah, that's one of our goals this year was to win Big West and then get to the NCAA tournament and make it to the Sweet 16. So we're really excited about that. Hope we get it.
We have a couple minutes left. You come from a long line of tennis players and a long line from anteaters.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about your family and how they ended up at UC Irvine and how that continued.
Okay, well, my mom went to UC Irvine. She played tennis here, and she's one of 10 kids, and they all came here too. And then plus my grandma also finished up here, and they have 2 cousins that also did stuff here too. So yeah, I guess it's a family affair. But yeah, UC Irvine has been a really good place for me and for my family, and it's been great.
Now, what about your father's side? Where'd they go?
My dad went to the University of Maryland,
Okay.
and he played tennis there. So, yeah.
So your parents met in the tennis world.
They met in the tennis world, yeah.
Okay. So did they coach you when you were younger?
Yeah, they did.
And how old were you when you started? When did they put a racket in your hand?
I was little, I don't even, remember learning how to play. I just remember always, knowing how to hit a tennis ball. So I was pretty young in elementary school. So.
You have 2 younger sisters. They are kind of the end of your line.
Yeah.
One plays at ASU and one will go to Duke. Who's of the 3? Who's the better tennis player?
Well, definitely me. Come on. No. No. We're all super competitive, but I mean, at the end of the day, we all support each other, and it's really fun.
Now, your little sister Alyssa
Yeah.
plays for ASU, and and they're a top 20 team. So, maybe if the stars are aligned, you might meet them in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, we might play them, which would be kind of weird.
What's your family gonna do?
I don't know. They won't be there for the match.
Well, Kristina, we wish you the best of luck. We're so excited about what this team is doing because you're having an incredible run, and it's been an incredible season so far. And again, a couple weeks left until the Big West tournament, and who knows after that? Maybe, like you said, a Sweet 16.
Yep.
So best of luck to you, fans. We were speaking with Kristina Smith from the women's tennis team, and we'll be right back with more on the Blue and Gold Report.